Hello and welcome to Phoenix, Arizona at the Reach 11 Sports Complex. We have the number 3 Colorado State team taking on Simon Fraser at the number 13 spot. I'm Chris Marshall, joined by Jeremy Sieverts, and I'm expecting a pretty fun game today.
Yeah, excited to be here, Chris. Two solid teams here, bunch of lacrosse going on. It's a great atmosphere here in early March.
I know that Simon Fraser has been having a little bit of trouble with injury, losing probably their top player in Tyler Kirkby to an ACL injury in the fall, having some other troubles along the way. It's been tough for them to overcome those kind of injuries with such a small roster.
Yeah, injuries are always difficult to deal with, especially when you have limited numbers like Simon Fraser does. It'll be interesting to see how the heat and the weather plays into the fact that they don't have many subs. Looking down to the bench, you probably have 7 or 8 guys down there. They've played 7 games so far compared to Colorado State's 4-0 record. So it'll be interesting to see a little bit of experience here, a few more games under their belt for Simon Fraser, and a strong and excited Colorado State team here.
Definitely. I know all these teams excited to be out here at the Coaches versus Cancer tournament per se, and a lot of top level talent, not only on display in this game but some of the other games. I know you had a couple of really top-notch games yesterday as well.
Yeah, got a chance to call the Chapman-Michigan State game early yesterday. Exciting game. Chapman really played well and won that game, and then the nightcap was Grand Canyon and BYU. BYU with a nice victory over Grand Canyon.
Yeah, and that's definitely something to look forward to in our night game. Is we're going to get a live look at BYU versus Michigan State, which is another top 25 matchup that's we're excited to bring you here at this Coaches versus Cancer. As we just go out for the face-off here, and you can hear the sideline right now for Colorado State. They are ready to go as we get going here. It's a face-off win for Colorado State. It's Chamberlain. So he gets into the box and pulls it out. Sullivan with it. And this broadcast, like every live broadcast on the SLC YouTube channel, is fully interactive. Please feel free to send us your thoughts, comments, tweets, anything you got to us at CMarshallTLN on Twitter. Any questions you have for Jeremy regarding the most recent championship by the Denver Outlaws, first in franchise history. Definitely excited to have you here with us today. It's a great honor.
It's good to be here by your side, Krista. Excited here to watch number 8 in white and number 9, Brian Taggart and Ashton Monheiser, high school teammates from Mountain Vista and Highlands Ranch, Colorado. Look for them to get it going early and kind of control the offense.
And there's a big shot from outside as that one is turned away. It's Jeremy Lasher getting the start between the pipes for the Clan. There's Monheiser again. Again, Monheiser and Taggart being the leading scorers on the team so far, combining for 24 points coming into today through 4 games.
Pretty typical of an early possession in the game. Both teams kind of feeling each other out. Colorado State being very patient offensively. It looks like Simon Fraser may be in a little bit of a zone here, causing Colorado State to kind of really think and orchestrate some offense here early in the first quarter.
Yeah, and you see Colin Zines cut through the middle. Looked like he had a little bit of a seam there. There's another shot from outside, and that one right into the back of the defenseman. He's going to be feeling that one later. It's A.J. Vito. Nice cut inside. Trying to get free, loses his footing, and that's something we've seen on this field is the players having a little bit of trouble with the footing as Foster trying to do it himself. 3 white shirts over there, but he's able to get it across the midline.
Yeah, so kind of opportunistic defense there. Monheiser slips some falls down to the ground, but a quick double by Simon Fraser to get the ball on the ground and then a nice clear up the far side.
And there's Sam Clare with the ball. Definitely one of the players to watch for the Clan today. He's one of those guys that's kind of a do-it-all player. He's got 29 points on the season, 20 goals, 9 assists, and he also takes the bulk of the face-offs as well. So it's always nice to see a guy who's that well-rounded, especially in this age of lacrosse where specialization is something that's so common.
Sure, it is definitely a plus to have a guy that can kind of do it all and not have to worry about substituting off the field as frequently as other players.
And it's something that's definitely important for a team of this size.
Sure.
Have a do-it-all guy.
Yeah, I'm sure they have a few guys that are like that.
And what sort of offense would you expect to see from a team that doesn't quite have as many subs?
Oh, that's good.
There's a great finish, that one coming across, and Sam Clare must have heard us talking about him because he does it all himself on that one and finishes to the far side of the cage.
Yeah, nice kind of left-to-left sweep there. kind of took the jam from the defenseman, got top side to the middle of the field, and a nice shot on the run down the alley. Going back to what you asked, Chris, I would expect Simon Fraser to be pretty patient offensively. You know, a team out of British Columbia, a lot of Canadian players, one-handed tendencies. So look for them to be patient, but to be sharp with their stick work, looking inside, and then we see, you know, being able to stretch the defense a little bit with an outside shot on the run.
There's another win, but runs over the ball. Looks like he might have stepped on it, and there's the ground ball going the other direction for Simon Fraser as A.J. Vito comes up with it. And I think that the zone look is definitely the look you want if you're short on poles as well. So smart game plan so far for the Clan. Lasher sends it to Bailey. Bailey with the shorty takes him behind the cage.
Kind of see Simon Fraser initiating a lot from behind the goal, a little bit of two-man game, and then maybe looking to swing the ball up top where the defense has sloughed in a bunch, and then look to attack the goal.
Lasher looking for some space. You see Colorado State playing way out on the adjacents. Lundy with the skip pass.
Good time here.
Now Fenny.
Simon Fraser appears to kind of be working out of a 2-2-2 pairs. Two middies way high, two guys behind and two on the crease.
Claire tries to fight through three Rams, can't get it done. Simon Fraser will come up with the ground ball as Lundy has it, but he steps out of bounds. Unlucky play for Simon Fraser. Nice clears, they're out on the break. And Casey Joy does it all himself as he gets the ball on the clear, goes coast to coast, and finishes that one low. No chance for Jeremy Lasher on that one.
Yeah, nice job, Colorado State, playing defense for a while there and then taking advantage of some transition quickly the other way before Simon Fraser is able to set up and get six men behind the ball.
This is a Colorado State team that really relies on their team play. I mean, obviously we talked about their leading scorers in Monheiser and Taggart, but definitely a next man up mantra. They have a lot of players on their team. Nearly half their squad has gotten a point on the board so far this season, and that's something that is really something they're really proud of.
Yeah, they put some big goal totals up against Connecticut and Utah Valley, 15, 16 goals, and then put up 8 against Texas State and Boston College. So, you know, expect them to kind of put the pressure on and continue over the course of this game.
As Fenny moves in, and if you're the Clan, I mean, you're going to have to think that you want to score as many goals as you can early in the game while your guys are fresh before they start getting into that second and third line for Colorado State.
Yeah, just looking at these benches here, man, Colorado State has a wealth of players, and Simon Fraser not so much. So it'll be interesting to see as the game progresses what the energy levels are of each of these teams.
That's a great check by Geyser to get the ball out of Vickers' stick.
Nice man ball. Nice man ball. That was textbook man ball play behind the goal for Colorado State.
And then no problem for Gerwick to come by. Nothing but the ball there waiting for him. Monheiser moves it back up top. And now Joy, who we just saw score a goal, takes that one. Got a little hung up on him.
Oh, man.
And then gets beat to the end line.
That's a nice job there. Simon Fraser stealing a possession on a pretty suspect shot out of Colorado State.
Got a little confidence going. Wanted to let it rip again.
Yeah. Shoot to get hot, shoot to stay hot, as I say.
Got to shoot to score. And again, definitely a reminder, send us your tweets, comments, questions, anything you got. Love to hear from you, where you're watching, who you're watching, and your predictions for the game. And that's at CMarshallTLN on Twitter. Very patient offense so far to Simon Fraser.
Again, working in that pairs offense. 2 men behind the goal, 2 on the crease. Nice ground ball there.
And that's something you
Still
talked about pregame with the Canadians. Very strong sticks, playing a lot of indoor lacrosse. Definitely forces you to have a good stick.
Yeah, they'll work in pairs as we've seen so far. So 2 men behind the goal, 2 kind of on the crease working together, and then 2 up top as you see here. This is a good opportunity to go to the goal.
Foster going to the left. And again, you see the 2-man game back behind the cage. They're looking to feed. It's Lundy. And that one just too tall as it's going to go out of bounds and be
quick restart here.
Colorado State's ball. Trying to take advantage of the quick whistle. Brian Allen, the captain, bringing it in for the Rams. Vito with a nice check across, but no problem for Allen.
Classic case down here, Simon Fraser not moving their feet, trying to make a pass with a stick in his gloves. Great job by Colorado State defense. Stay in his gloves and force a bad pass.
And there's Bosquet with a great trail check, able to knock the ball out of the stick and get the ball going back the other direction. Walking the tightrope, what a play. It's Jordan Lasher, the captain, making things happen for the Clan.
There's an opportunity.
Nearly picked off. That one comes across, and no doubt about that one as Ian Vickers buries the goal.
Looked like Colorado State kind of looked to take advantage of a miscue by Simon Fraser, and as a result got out of position, and Ian Vickers does a nice job there to put that one away.
And that puts his 13th in the net for the season, gets him up to 19 points. Having a pretty solid season so far in the first 7.5 games. Ryan Chamberlain's been having a lot of success at the face-off X so far today. We'll see if that continues. As he's able to get the clamp and pushes it forward to himself. That's a really heads-up play. You see there was nothing but space in front of him. And Chamberlain getting away and getting down into the box. Has the shorty matchup. Going to send it down to the attack and get back into the offense. Stewart sends it to Womack. As they get their offensive unit onto the field, 7th in the midline. Colin Zines. Back to Eric Ull.
Simon Fraser sticking to their zone here. Probably looking to conserve some energy, force the outside shot, and trust their goaltender to make the save.
And that's a great finish, low to low, as Monheiser finds the 5-hole and ties this game up at 2. Again, very patient offense out of both of these teams so far today.
Yeah, nice job by Colorado State, kind of dragging over to the near side of the field, moving the ball twice, and Simon Fraser just a little hesitant to slide up the field a little bit to get into Monheiser's hands, and he does a nice job. Very opportunistic there, stepping in and finishing low to low.
Yeah, and Lasher on the season, Jeremy Lasher, sophomore goaltender with a .558 save percentage, probably a little lower than you'd like if you're a head coach, but out there making some plays early on, but got beat with that one.
Yeah, those are the type of shots right there that if you're going to stay in a zone, you probably need to make those type of saves, and it'd be interesting to see if those shots are falling today, how long Simon Fraser sticks it with the zone.
Yeah, and it looks like all three goalies on their roster have seen game action this season. So if he starts to struggle early, we might get a replacement coming in the game. Colorado State, hard ride, but Claire able to get the ball across the midline.
He's going to go right here.
It's Vickers, scored the last goal, sends it back to X. And now Clayton Fenney. And Rams not giving the Clan very much space, all over the hands whenever they're trying to make the passes to disrupt the angle. Jordan Lasher moves it back to Vickers. Rams playing way out. It's Claire by his man, quick double. Nice swim inside. He's going to get his hands free. Takes the shot, carries the goal. What a finish by Claire as he's got 2 on the day.
Yeah, nice job. It's interesting, Colorado State playing way out and forcing Simon Fraser midfielders to catch the ball within a couple yards of the midfield line. And a long dodge there down the alley. He does a nice job kind of sticking with it, making a nice inside move, and then burying it far pipe.
Yeah, I mean, you'd like to think maybe that adjacent player pinches in a little bit and forces the issue a little bit, trying to get a stick on his.
Yeah, he looked to kind of throw one check and let him go by him. Really, in that case, you got to play the body and keep him from coming across the middle like that. And unfortunately, played his stick only, and it resulted in a goal.
It didn't really give Salami much of a chance back there.
Yeah, you can't expect your goaltender to make a save there.
And that's one of the things. Salami having a fantastic season this year, saving over 80% of the shots he sees, and that's the kind of kind of percentage that'll lead the nation.
Yeah, that's always a result not only of a goalie that's a good stopper, but also controlling a good defense and seeing the shots that you want to see.
Again, no rush for Colorado State as they get their personnel on the field.
So look for Colorado State to try and attack the seams, the space in between the players here for Simon Fraser, and look to get one guy to play and get him to rotate like they almost caused him to do there.
See Monheiser, he gets the skip pass, and that's what the one that's been working for him. And way out, and that one picked off. That's a great play by Basquet as he's going back the other direction. And we've seen him make a couple of really good plays early on in this game, and he's going to have to keep making those kind of plays to make sure Simon Fraser can stay in this game.
Yeah, if you're going to sit back in a zone like that, those are the type of turnovers you need to create, picking off skip passes or adjacent passes like that. And a nice job for him just sticking his stick out in the passing lane and unfortunately disrupting that pass.
There's a heads-up play, no-look pass, as the Rams are able to keep that one in bounds and maintain possession as Geiser brings it up.
Nice job moving it in transition right here.
And Sullivan gets it inside. An easy finish on the doorstep for Monheiser as he's able to sneak up from behind the cage.
Just a great job, Colorado State there, moving the ball ahead between the lines. You know, the ball moves quicker than anybody can run with it. He throws the ball ahead, turns it kind of from a 4-on-4 into a 4-on-3, and they get an easy opportunity right on the doorstep from Monheiser.
And Monheiser, so much composure down there, and that's the sort of thing you expect to see from your top scorer. Just a sophomore, definitely going to have a bright future ahead of him. Yeah, and a good time out there, I think, by Coach Hoskins. Yeah, at Simon Fraser. They come down, get an empty, short possession, and then give a goal back in transition, probably sensing a little bit of fatigue from his team, not only physically but mentally. So he'll probably try and dial it in here a little bit, get him to settle down and really stick to that little slower pace that we've become used to so far in this first quarter. Yeah, and we're just a 3-3 game so far as we're coming to the end of this first quarter. But definitely a little tighter game than I think we were expecting. Yeah, Simon Fraser coming out in the zone, it always kind of takes a little bit to get your feet under you when you're playing against the zone. It takes some ball movement, some discipline, waiting for a really good shot rather than just an okay shot. And it seems like Colorado State's starting to settle in a little bit, and we'll see how Simon Fraser does sticking with that zone. And we're going to send it down to Margot McCauley, who is listening in on the Clan Huddle.
All right, guys, right there, Coach Hoskins, he's telling his team this was a planned timeout. He could see his team was out there. They're getting a bit fatigued. If you look at them, they've got small numbers, and it's definitely starting to play a factor. So look for them to try to slow down the pace and control the game from here on out. Well, there you have it. It's almost like you played this game before, Jeremy. But like you said, Coach Hoskins, planned timeout, giving his boys a rest and letting them regroup so they can try and get back in front of the Rams before the end of this quarter. You'd probably expect him to take a similar timeout in the second quarter, just almost another quarter break to rest his team. Yeah, just again 4.5 minutes to go in this quarter. Got a 3-3 game. You're watching the LAX Coaches versus Cancer on the SLC YouTube channel. See Chamberlain and Claire going to battle once again. Chamberlain with another win forward to himself, misses the ground ball. Classic case there of winning the face-off but losing the possession. He kind of looks to be a little too quick and doesn't look the ball in off the ground, and it turns up Simon Fraser ball. And sorry, that was Bailey on the face-off for Simon Fraser. And Coach Hoskins trying to conserve a little bit of Claire's energy as he been playing very well so far today with 2 goals on the day. Fenny now. Simon Fraser initiating a lot from way up by the midfield line. Again, another long dodge to start their offense. Looking to re-dodge here. I mean, it seems like a pretty smart play when you see how far Colorado State is playing out. It's unlucky as Foster can't handle that one off the bounce. Get on these grass fields, and sometimes the bounces are a little bit tricky. And that one picked up. Oh, nice. The big fella, Chris Holm, takes it on the offensive side of the field. Takes the shot. A little bit ambitious from outside, but it looks like the Clan's going to maintain possession. He put the ball on the ground, which 99% of the time a bounce shot is not going to be saved cleanly by a goalie. He does a great job getting the shot off. Really a possession shot and getting the ball out of his stick.
Gain another possession here for Simon Fraser.
And then hustles back onto the defensive side of the ball. I mean, that's what you like to see as we get under 3 minutes to go, is the big fella earning his keep.
Yeah, if I'm Simon Fraser, I'm playing off of that for sure. A little bit of burst of energy from your defenseman.
And a little shot from Ian Vickers, dodging from X, goes a little wide, but another possession shot for Simon Fraser. Lundy looking for some space. And that one too tall for Vickers.
That's the type of turnovers you can't have right there. Where he's just working the ball around the outside. He's running away from the man he's passing the ball to. It's just a long pass and ends up turning it over. Really an unforced turnover for Simon Fraser.
Yeah, it seemed like he had a lot of time, not a whole lot of pressure. Simon Fraser fortunate not to get an offsides call there, as Claire on the offense, a nice look inside for Joy, and Joy scores his second of the game, and that's great recognition by Colorado State, finding the opening in transition and able to finish, capitalize, and take the lead.
Yeah, textbook slow break there from Colorado State. They clear the ball, get the ball down the side and then to X, and then look to attack from there. They have a kind of a delayed cutter, and he finds him inside, and he's wide open. It doesn't get any easier than that. Yeah,
and that's one of the things that makes Colorado State so dangerous, is they can run the fast break and the slow break, but they also can send it back into their regular offenses. We are at the 2:33 mark in the first quarter, but some fantastic lacrosse so far.
Yeah, it's probably the second time we've seen so far in this game where Colorado State has forced a turnover, or rather Simon Fraser has an unforced turnover, and Colorado State's able to go down offensively and convert pretty quickly, just kind of showing you how turnovers can quickly turn into goals.
That's a great ground ball by Vito as he comes through and just puts the vacuum cleaner down. Fenney looking to make some space for himself. Great check. Poke check comes across, and that's 2 turnovers in a row as Gerwick takes the ball away from Fenney. And that's the kind of thing that'll start to creep into your mind and hurt your confidence. You get 2 turnovers in a row like that.
Man.
That's a great turn inside as Alec Womack using his size to his advantage and backing down the defenseman.
So I'm not sure there if Simon Fraser is on purpose electing to not play the attackman behind the goal, but in that case he's got no one in his hands. He's able to just survey the field. He sees that it is a short stick on that lower corner, and he elects to attack him and gets a nice inside roll. And again, a very easy goal for Colorado State. If you're Simon Fraser, you got to get back there and play him, or you got to have a pole down there to keep him from dodging and inside rolling.
Yeah, and that's definitely one of the things that's working for Colorado State, taking advantage of the opportunities. And then Womack, 5'10", 185, real strong kid for being young, the freshman, making his impact felt. Clan coming out of that timeout and giving up 2 pretty quick goals. Yeah,
both off of turnovers. Neither one as a result from a save down by Colorado State's goalie, Ryan Chamberlain. So, again, turnovers leading to goals the other way. Simon Fraser's got to look to take care of the ball here a little bit more, shorten these passes up just like this, and really value the ball.
And that one coming from Claire, who's normally has a very sure stick. Claire looking to make something happen. And that's a nice handle by Vickers as that one came in pretty hot.
That should be a flag.
And Vickers, the great sidewinder no-look goal. That one almost picked up by Claire. But and that one going the other direction. I don't know if I agree with that call.
I was surprised to see there wasn't a cross-check called there at about goal line extended. Looks as the defenseman got a little high up in the neck head region. No call from the official. And then a little bit of confusion on whether that was still a shot or just a deflected ball, and it comes off Colorado State's ball.
And there's Sullivan taking it across as we're down to 45 seconds to go in this first quarter. I mean, you're Colorado State. You definitely love to get another goal here, build on this momentum going into the second quarter.
So Simon Fraser sticking to this zone with both of their short sticks down in the lower corner. So if I'm Colorado State, again, I'm going behind the goal with my attackman and just kind of cutting up top with my offensive players. Another turnover here.
And see what the call is. And it's going to be a turnover going against the.
There's a chance you got to score here.
Nice shot. What a rip from outside. That's a fantastic finish by Greg Lundy, another freshman, making his impact felt as that pushes him to 28 points on the season.
Nice job there working in transition, getting an easy goal there. There's kind of the new backcourt rule in college lacrosse this year where the ball once you're on your offensive end, it goes over the midfield line immediately. Becomes Simon Fraser's ball. Nice job of having your head up, finding one of your attackmen, and then just sticking an overhand high shot.
Yeah, taking advantage of the quick whistle, another one of those rules put in place to try and move the game faster, and it certainly did on that possession.
Yeah, absolutely. Starting to see a theme here. I think the last 3 goals of this game all off of turnovers. So, we're looking to see if both teams can eliminate these turnovers and mistakes between the lines.
And there's a shot, that one out of the stick before he could get the shot off, and that's going to be the end of the first quarter. And we'll be and just about ready to get underway in the second quarter of action here. Definitely looking forward to hearing what some of these coaches have to say at halftime about what's going on with the turnovers. See a little bit of a different matchup as Sobey going to be taking the faceoffs. We've seen 3 different players take faceoffs for the Clan so far, trying to get a rhythm going against Chamberlain, who's just been dominating at the faceoff X. As we see the officials setting the players up, kind of a rule change this year where they put their sticks down first.
Yeah, a new little sequence. So they involve both referees. They put the sticks down first, then the ball. One referee usually sets the ball up, and then the other one will blow the whistle. So there's no rolling into it. Keeps the guys taking the face off a little bit more on their toes. Oh, nice move.
Wow. There's a great finish inside. And what more do you ask for from your LSM? That's Nestingen, the sophomore, able to bury that one after getting a fantastic ground ball. And he had all his momentum going forward, and big fella fired up. High
school coach John Cohen will be thrilled with that. A nice job with a face dodge, getting back to the middle of the field. Looks like he probably played some midfield in his career prior to picking up the long pole, but a really nice job there. Patient face dodge, gets to a better angle, a little bit closer, and buries that one.
Yeah, and then that one all goes back to the dominance that Chamberlain's been having at the face-off X. He's able to deke that one a little outside, recognize he's got the LSM coming through with full head of steam. Great ground ball, great finish. Another one of the things that Colorado State's doing well, and there's a face-off win for the Clan, and a big one because they need to get some momentum back. It's a push in the back. And there's a flag down finally. And it looks like we're going to get our first look at the extra man unit for the Clan, and another giveaway as they had an opportunity for a free possession. Looks like it's going to be a hold against Joy. Sorry, cross-check. It's going to be a 1-minute penalty. But you see the coaches fired up for for the sophomore Nessigen as he comes over and gets some high fives. Stayed on the field after he scored that goal, went directly to the wing again.
Yeah, goals by long sticks almost count for 1.5 in terms of momentum and everything like that. So nice to see Nessigen getting the goal there.
Again, this is our first look at either team's extra man attack. Claire with it. As the officials take some time to make sure that the clock is working here. But again, go ahead and feel free to send us your tweets, comments, questions, anything you got. We'd love to hear from you, where you're watching from, your predictions for the game, what you think about the game so far. Looks like they got the clock running and going to get back underway as Claire starts with the ball. Again, Claire gets it back as they send it around, trying to feel out what the Rams defense is going to be doing here.
Simon Fraser looked to be operating out of a 1-4-1 now, shifting a little more into a push down 3-3.
Look for them to send it to Vickers.
Skip.
And Vickers looks like he's got quite a bit of space in there.
Skip, good save.
And that's just great positioning coming from the goalie as he's able to come out and he sees where the shot's coming from, gets as big as he possibly can, and that's a really tough angle shot coming from Fenning.
Yeah, you said it, Chris. I mean, a nice job on the skip pass down low, but ultimately a pretty low angle shot for being man up. You'd like to take very high percentage shots with your hands free and feet set when you're man up. Right there, you have your hands free and your feet set, but just a low angle shot and pretty routine save for the goaltender.
And there's a great kill for the Rams as they're now back to full strength.
If you're Simon Fraser, you really look to got to convert there, given the numbers you have and that you're man up. Surely, very skilled players offensively. You know, you really want to score on those man up opportunities. But again, credit Colorado State giving up a shot that they want to see in the man down, and then getting the ball up and out and killing the penalty.
And again, back into the offense that we've seen them. If they don't have an opportunity on the fast break, they're not taking any quick shots. Making sure they get the best possible opportunity. More of that team lacrosse that we've become accustomed to seeing over the winningest program in MCLA history.
Yeah, and against the zone, it's not very difficult to be patient if you're smart. Simon Fraser's only going to play so far out, so you're able to work the ball around the perimeter with ease. You see them dragging here a little bit.
And Monheiser
nice poke.
Can't get that one away, and we see the penalty flag down. See what the call is going to be from the official as we see another flag coming out, and you have to think that one is from one of the guys chirping at the official.
Yeah, I think you're going to have an illegal body check here on the carry up from X. He makes a pass to Jason to Monheiser, but still gets tagged with a hit, and then probably some extra words following that out of Simon Fraser, so it'll be 2 penalties here.
See the official. It's going to be unnecessary roughness on unsportsmanlike conduct. It's going to be a non-releasable penalty, so that's going to be 2 minutes man down for the Clan, which is absolutely not what they want at this point in the game.
Yeah, you don't. It's okay to make 1 mistake, but you don't want to make 2. So he makes 1 mistake there, and then unfortunately says something and gets another penalty.
And that's Sam Clare, the senior. Probably not something you want to see from one of your leaders out on the field, not only in ability, but being a senior.
Sure. Colorado State here working out a 3-3 set and a little bit of pressure out of Simon Fraser.
Nice skip pass down low. Can't handle it. Pass was a little low.
Another flag. There'll be 2 men down here.
And so going to see another call, like you said, going out, 2 men down, and this is going to be a really tough situation. They're just going to have their full 4 poles out there, going into the box and seeing if they can just clog the passing lanes and see what they can do.
Yeah, if you're Simon Fraser here, it's a win if you give up an outside shot. If you're Colorado State, you want to be patient and look to get the ball inside, take a high percentage shot, as we discussed earlier on the man up. Even right now, on the crease, looking wide open.
Yeah, Jeremy Lasher's going to have to come up pretty big for his squad here. Sitting between the pipes, and there's a great look across, and Lasher bit hard on the fake, and then an easy goal for A.J. Stewart as he's all alone on the doorstep with virtually an empty net.
Yeah, nice job being patient there and really getting a great look. You're going to have a lot of good opportunities when you're 6-on-4, but it's important to wait for a great look, and that's what Colorado State did there. Ends up in a goal.
Yeah, and just making the extra pass, and that's textbook lacrosse. I mean, that's the way you teach it. Back to down just one man, so they won't be. They'll be without a player on the wing on this faceoff. Chamberlain could be really dangerous here if he's able to win it to himself. He's got a lot of space on that far side of the field.
Yeah, you'd expect him to make it easy on himself, hopefully try and win this clamp and just rake it back to his wing just like that. You throw it ahead, you might have numbers here.
Chamberlain gets up, and again, still man up. It's that unreleasable, unsportsmanlike penalty. So if they're able to capitalize and get a second goal. Zines with it to Womack. Nice skip pass down low, and we've seen that work really well for Colorado State so far. Little space across the crease as Taggart wanted the ball, but opts to pull it back out. Looked like Womack was thinking about the shot before he got that ball in his stick, as there's three, and somehow Zines come out of there with the ground ball. Zines thinking about coming inside. Nice look at Stewart. Stewart gets it across with the pass. Taggart buries the goal. No question about that one, and Colorado State is rolling.
Yeah, a little bit of momentum there created by Colorado State. Really, Simon Fraser making it easy for them, going 2 men down, one of which is a non-releasable penalty. So making it easy, making it a little bit easier for Colorado State, and they're just very skilled, getting some great opportunities there and making the most of those opportunities.
Yeah, and you can see that the players coming off for Simon Fraser. These guys are gassed. As walking right past us in the front, we see A.J. Vito, who has been a really good player so far for the Clan, but he needs a break.
Yeah, he's had a nice day. He's the only long stick midi listed for Simon Fraser, so he's been all over the field, and it's warm out here. It's going to be difficult for the guys in red to keep up with Colorado State over the course of this game.
Degnan moves it to Monheiser, who's playing a little higher than we've seen him. Sullivan. And one thing noticed on the sideline is Captain Alex Thompson for Simon Fraser being worked on by the trainer, and that's a squad that can ill afford any more injuries. So we'll keep you updated on that one. Got his helmet off right now, but that could be a big loss for Simon Fraser. Stewart working behind. And Simon Fraser electing not to pressure the attackman behind the cage.
Yeah, if I'm Colorado State, I just look to pick apart the defense here, send a couple cutters inside, look ball side, adjacent when I push those corners. The lack of pressure behind the goal allows Colorado State a lot of time to be patient and look for a great opportunity in front of the goal.
There's a look inside, thinks about the shot as O'Connell, but pulls it back out, look for that next best thing. Woods up top. Simon Fraser playing pretty far out up top. Now Degnan coming from below. Monheiser up top. Hall gets it to O'Connell. After thinking there's the timer on.
There it is.
Just gonna say it, 30 seconds before they need to get a shot on cage. Monheiser goes in, and that one on the outside of the cage.
Shouldn't be a reset.
Picked up by Stewart, and then knocked out of his stick. And looks like that one is going to stay in, but just barely. Oh, finally gets off the inline, but that one's going to be Simon Fraser's ball, and that's great help defense to knock that ball to Stewart's stick.
So it'd be important here for Simon Fraser to really slow it down offensively, for no other reason other than to give their defense and goalie a little bit of a rest. So you'd like to see them get a clear here, get the ball down the side through X, and be very patient and deliberate with this possession. A tough time clearing, though.
And that ball finally knocked out. It was trapped between two Colorado State players, and finally got out. And Stewart all the way back up to the midline to get that ball in the clear. And there's the over-the-head check. And right into the box is Claire as they're able to get the long stick on. Pretty heads-up play. See if you can make a play on the on your way off the field and get the personnel sub that you're looking for.
And Simon Fraser's defense has got to be sucking wind here, a little bit tired. Just a long possession there, unable to gain a clear, get a little bit of rest by possession from their offense. So we'll see in this possession how long they're able to sustain the Colorado State attack, excuse me.
And that's one of the things you talked about. It's 80 degrees out here. These are both teams that's in
nice ground ball.
And that's another one from Bisquette. We've seen him make a couple of those really good ground balls. A high pressure ride from Colorado State, and making things more difficult on the Clan, having to add a little extra effort on that clear.
Yeah, Colorado State doing a great job in between the lines, riding hard. And this is exactly what you want here, is a Pohl bringing the ball over midfield. He wants no part of the ball. Does a nice job getting rid of it, though.
And that's a heads-up play on the far side of the field, recognizing the numbers, so there wasn't an offsides. You see the defenseman come back across, and then Jordan Lasher was able to come across. And there's a shot, another possession shot, but a great save by Salami once again.
Yeah, you're almost fortunate either way that doesn't go in the goal or it's a save. The best thing for Simon Fraser right now is a good long possession to be patient and give their defense a rest. Ooh, nice shot.
Vickers turns the corner right over the shoulder of his defenseman. No chance as that one finds the furthest corner on the far side.
That's just a really nice play there by Vickers. He drives up to 5-on-5. In a sense there, he doesn't even really beat his defenseman, but shoots around him. Very difficult for the goalie to pick that one up and just finds the far side corner. A nice effort there by Vickers.
And that's a goal that they needed, trying to stop the run, stop the bleeding, if you will, from Colorado State as they'd rattled off 5 unanswered.
And the only issue now is you go back to the face-off. Colorado State's been having some success at the X. If they don't win this face-off, they're back on defense. So again, kind of going back to it, and there they do. Go ahead and win that face-off.
And it seems like of the players for Simon Fraser who've been taking face-offs, Sobey has had the most success. So I expect to see him continuing to take those face-offs as they sent a couple different looks, with Claire taking a face-off, Bailey taking some face-offs, and Sobey taking the most face-offs, with 122 coming into today for the team. But I expect to see him out there as often as he can go.
Yeah, almost feels like other than that last goal, this is the first time we're looking down to this side of the field this quarter. So Simon Fraser again, probably looking to slow it down here a little bit and maybe put one more on the board after a nice possession.
We're at 7 minutes left in the first half. Still plenty of time left in this game for Fraser to come back. As Claire, working from X by his man, nice switch, turns the corner, takes the shot, and Vickers backing that one up. Again, feel free to send us your tweets, comments, questions, anything you got to us at CMarshallTLN. Love to hear where you're watching from, what you think of the game, and your predictions for the second half. Foster moves it quickly to Lasher. And land some lumber as Lasher takes a couple of pretty good ones on the arm as Reed McGraw, sorry.
Good time to go here.
Stroop turns the corner, and that one off the defenseman's shaft. Nice ground ball. So Clan go right back to work. Lasher moves it to Claire. That's a great handle. Fights through 2, 3 defenders.
Oh,
what a finish, doing it all himself, and the foul as he's going to draw the flag, and that's Fenny getting some of that confidence back as he's able to finish inside after beating 4. Sorry, Lundy. His second of the day.
Nice job catching the ball with his feet moving there. Opted not to take the shot right after he caught it. Little face dodge to avoid a check, draws the flag, and then buries it. A little bit of a twister there to the near side corner, stick side high, Colorado State's goalie. Really nice goal.
And since that one's going to be a 1-minute penalty, it's going to be, and 1, like you said, so it's not one of the penalties that's wiped off by the goal there. And I mean, if you want to explain some of the differences and what
Sure,
penalties are wiped off and what are not.
Sure, that's a personal foul there, it being a slash. So that's really a big play there for Simon Fraser. So you score a goal, you're going to be man up here, and Colorado State takes a timeout. So you got an opportunity here to rest your legs a little bit, hopefully win a face-off and be man up. You could be right back in this game. We got a 2-goal game right now. You could cut it to a 1-goal game before the half and really be right in it here and maybe go back to playing your zone as they have been the whole first half. So a really big play there for Simon Fraser in getting back into this game.
Yeah, and it's definitely important. I mean, it looked like Colorado State might have been running away with this one, but like we saw in the game last night, it was really a game of runs, and we're going to send it down to Margot, who has some inside information.
Right there in the huddle, guys, Colorado State coach said, hey guys, right now we are giving this to them. We are giving them those goals, and we need to start playing better and playing smarter if we're going to finish out this half on top.
Thanks, Margot. It's always nice to have a little bit of inside information coming from those huddles. Like to hear what both of these coaches have to say from some pretty successful programs over the years. Let's see what Simon Fraser comes out in. Is they're going to be man up. Going to have to take the face off as we see once again Sobey out, the freshman for Simon Fraser. Looks like they're mixing it up. Colorado State as it's going to get our first look at Seaman, Michael Seaman, another freshman who has only taken one face-off so far this season.
This is a big face-off right here, Chris. Big face-off.
And Sobey able to push it forward. I mean, it's one of those things where it's kind of a tough thing. And there's a great play by the freshman, able to get that one out of bounds and maintain possession. So what seemed like a tough decision to not give the ball to Chamberlain really worked out.
Oh, here he goes again.
Gets free and takes the shot, and that's number 2 on the day from Nestigen, the sophomore, and he is fired up as he gets the Rams back on the board and pushes the lead back to 3.
Nestigen showing a great deal of composure with the ball on his stick. He goes and attacks his weak hand to his right, rolls back to the middle, gets to a strong hand to the middle of the field, carries into about 5-6 yards and buries it low and away on Simon Fraser. So 2 goals from the long stick midi right now out of Colorado State.
Yeah, and a shorthanded goal at that. So that's one of the ones where if you miss it, you're probably going to run laps. But he was able to finish that one. So
yeah, a lot of guts.
It's all
right
good.
There. Yeah.
It's like the same look on the face-off here. And Sobey able to pull it back towards himself, but a great hustle play by the freshman once again as Seaman wins the ground ball game. Looks like he's trying to get it moving, and that one knocked away and then picked up by Lasher going the other direction. Tough play there as they're still man down, 2-on-3 during that wing, and that one was a big shot from outside. Slum comes up with the save. Fenny looking for the ground ball. It's still down. That one kicked inside. Looks like Foster's got a line on it. And that ball's going to be going the way of Colorado State. So again, we're seeing a lot of hustle out of Colorado State right now, doing their best to make sure that there's no damage done on this penalty. And there's the penalties. They're back to is done as they're back to full strength. Lundy has it, moves it down to Vickers. Vickers misses it. And I know one of the things to think about as we see some of these players who all have really good sticks making some sort of errant passes is it's tough to judge how the desert air is going to affect your stick. Definitely some of the weather. There's a great trail check. Cookies as that one comes out. Going the other direction is Ull. Looking for Joy. Joy has 2 fast break goals already.
Oh,
he takes a big hit.
Nice hit.
And it's always nice to see a good legal hit as Claire gets it and moves it back across to Bailey, who's headed back the other direction. But two movable objects coming into each other, and the ball going the Clan's way.
There's the timeout.
And that's a good timeout by Hoskins, down 3 as we come towards the end of this half, trying to get his guys composed, maybe give them a little bit of a rest.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a little bit for both teams there, a little bit of sloppy play there. A nice double by Colorado State down here. Going down in transition, they turn it over. A really nice hit by Simon Fraser. there to get the ball back. And I think Simon Fraser is going to look to take advantage of this opportunity, be a little bit more deliberate with their possession here, and look to trim this lead by 1 before the half.
And again, we see Alex Thompson over there without his jersey on, icing his shoulder. Looked like he got taped up a little bit, like they may want to put him back in, but it looks like this may be the end of his day. And again, that would be a big blow to lose the junior captain. Only with 3 points on the season, but 22 ground balls. So he's one of those hustle guys that it'll give you some good help. Let's send it back down to Margot.
All right, right there, guys. The coach is just doing what he did earlier. He's giving them a break. He's getting some help from the other team right here with the timeout, and he's just hoping his team can finish this half. There's 3 minutes and 46 seconds left, and he just wants them to keep going, keep sprinting out there, and they got to stay with it and get some goals to finish out this half.
Well, there you have it. I mean, the coach is just trying to get their guys fired up, make sure they can make the most of their opportunity out here.
If ever Simon Fraser has a 6-on-6 kind of designed offensive play, here's the time for it. And it looks like Colorado State coming out man-to-man. Wouldn't have been surprised if they come out in the zone just to throw off Simon Fraser a little bit, but I expect Simon Fraser to have drawn something pretty specific up in the huddle here, looking to trim the lead again.
And Lundy with it, we saw him score a fantastic goal earlier on all individual effort. So he's definitely a guy who can beat his man and get to the cage. Foster with a head of steam moving down. And that one, again, overthrown, a little too tall for Fenney as that one goes out of bounds and back to Colorado State.
Yeah, look there like Simon Fraser sticking to what they drew up in the huddle, but sometimes you got to be able to not be a robot. And I don't know if there was really anything there on the inside and just threw it because that's what the play told him to do. But you got to be a little smarter there and take care of the ball if your first option is not there.
And there's a nice double coming across the field as Simon Fraser able to get the ball back, and then a great save by Lundy as he's able to get low and get his body in front of that bouncer. But like I was saying earlier, you get these teams from a little wetter climate, and this desert air, it's very dry and it's been windy the last couple days, will shrink that pocket right up and give you a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, and when that's the case, you got to be even more diligent about the fundamentals in terms of having your feet moving and your shoulder pointed, shortening up those passes. You've seen a lot of long passes from Simon Fraser, and that's inherently what's going to happen when you're playing out of a 2-2-2 with only 4 guys on the perimeter. You're going to have a little bit longer passes around the outside, so you got to move your feet to shorten those passes up and give yourself a good opportunity to complete those passes.
And there's nice defense. Fortunate again, as we've seen on that play, is Gerwick not keeping his hands as close together as you'd probably like to see if you're Coach Hoskins.
I would look for Colorado State to really push here, try and get one before the half.
Day gets to Joy. Joy showing off his wheels, coming inside again. We've seen him take the not afraid to take the shot. Is that one inside?
That up.
Almost, and there you go.
No.
And that is just a tough break for the Clan as that one goes right into the net. You leave that one in the crease, let the goalie lie on top of it because they can't hit him, but that one going in the back of the net.
Yeah, one that Simon Fraser would really like to have back there. The ball is laying in the crease. Goalie didn't really look like he knew where the ball was. Your defenseman picks it up outside of the crease. Colorado State makes the check and has an easy empty net there.
And back down to under 1 minute 56 seconds to go in the first half here. We're going to send it down to Margot on the sideline at halftime to get a little more insight from some of these coaching decisions, but definitely stay tuned for that. And that one pulled back by Chamberlain, almost missed his defenseman there as it sends it pretty high. Chamberlain with the quick, and there's the shot, and that one just off the mark as we've seen Taggart take that shot a few times in the fast break.
So a little bit of a flurry here from Colorado State, which is what you'd expect, having more numbers and just a little bit of a spark here before the end of the half, looking to widen their lead as we go into the half.
Allen with the ball.
Simon Fraser sticking to the zone all half. You'd expect Colorado State to start figuring this out, figuring out what works, and then really sticking to that until Simon Fraser stops it.
And Allen back with it, as you see them patiently looking for the right opportunity. You can hear the calls coming from the Simon Fraser sideline, making sure that they're not letting that player sneak up, and definitely take the time to, as we see a timeout from Coach Smith as he wants to draw something up for the last minute of action here. But take the time, send us your tweets, comments, questions, anything you got to us at CMarshallTLN. Go ahead and tag Jeremy Sieverts in that one, at Jeremy Sieverts. And we'd love to hear what you guys think of the game so far, where you're watching from, who you're watching, and what's going on. We got a couple of tweets coming in. We got a former player coach watching from Virginia, and control of the middle of the field and the offense will take care of itself. And that's definitely a fair point coming from Alex Devlin. And we've seen when these teams get into their settled offense and play patiently and do the fundamental things, they've had success. Yeah,
and conversely, when there are turnovers, it has shown to kind of come back and bite you right away. All the more reason to be more patient and make sure that you're connecting passes on the offensive end so as not to give up those easy turnovers which lead to transition at the other end of the field.
And again, we're going to send it down to we're not going to send it to Margot. But just under a minute to play in the first half. Love to see the Rams get a goal here if you're Coach Smith. Push the lead to 5 going into the half.
Yeah, probably drew something up here, looking to, again, just as Simon Fraser was, be very specific as to what they're looking for. Simon Fraser's back in their zone. Very surprised to not see Colorado State attacking from behind the goal, as Simon Fraser's short sticks are on those low corners and they don't look to be pressuring behind the goal. An interesting approach that Coach Alex Smith is taking with Colorado State.
I mean, I think that's probably the best look if you're coming into a settled situation for the Clan, getting their poles up front and making sure they have as much length as they possibly can on the front, forcing them to take a little further out shot. Going to have to get something going pretty quickly. See them start to go into their motion. Zines, Monheiser.
Have to get a shot.
Last 6 seconds. There's a shot in the goal. What a finish inside for Creech, the junior, as he makes a big finish to push the lead to 5 with 4 seconds to go. And that's a big momentum goal.
Yeah, and a nice job there being patient by Colorado State. And sometimes when you play a zone, you don't want to be dodging a ton in the zone, but when there's an approach coming, which there was right there, he was able to make a nice quick face dodge move and increase his angle, increase the quality of his shot, and able to put that one away.
And for either one of these guys to have any sort of opportunity to get a shot off, they're going to have to push this forward. So interesting to see which one of these players is able to get the win, as we got Bailey out there for the Clan, who hasn't had much success against Chamberlain. Chamberlain opts to pull it back, and he's just going to hold out the rest of this quarter as we go into the half with a 5-goal lead for Colorado State. I don't think you can be too disappointed with that if you're the Clan. Able to overcome quite a few mistakes.
Yeah, I think Colorado State probably looking in the second half to continue doing more of the same. And I guess we'll go down here to Margot.
Yeah, send it down to Margot with head coach Alex Smith from Colorado State.
All right, Coach Smith, you're undefeated this season. A great half there. You're up 5. What has helped you be so successful so far?
Well, I don't know that was a real successful half for us. I didn't think we played very good defense. 6 goals is way too many for us to give up. So we need to hammer some things down on the defensive end. I like the way we're pushing in transition and using our depth. We're using a lot of guys right now, which is helping us, and running, getting some easy goals. I think that's been a big thing for us so far.
You're known for playing team lacrosse, but have there been any individuals that have stood out to you today who are playing really well?
We're down our top 2 LSMs and our face-off guy. So to have Ryan Chamberlain and Eric Nestigan, who already has 2 goals as an LSM, scoring some goals, that's big. We'll hope he can continue that for us.
All right, Coach, good luck in the second.
So Nestigan making a point, being number 3 on the depth chart, trying to make his way into that starting role.
Yeah, he's done a great job, shown a lot of composure with the ball on his stick. I think Coach Alex Smith a little disappointed in giving up 6 goals in one half. You look at Colorado State's 4-0 record. They've given up 5
got comparatively a much smaller roster here today. How do you let that not work against you in the second?
Well, I think we got to do a better job of. I think we forced some good turnovers on our defensive end, and really just do a better job playing between the lines when we do force those turnovers, making sure that we're translating them into possessions, and making them work a little harder on defense where we can go to work and catch a little bit of our breath on the back end.
All right, now I can see one of your captains, Alex Thompson, has his jersey off. Is there any update on his status?
He's we're waiting to see. He's he's banged up a little bit. At this point he's probably doubtful to return, but we're working on him. All
right, well, thank you, Coach. Good luck in the second. Back to you, Chris.
Thanks, Margot. And there we get the update from Coach Hoskins on the injury of Alex Thompson. That's going to be a big blow for a team that's already losing a couple of their top scorers. And he mentioned sort of the stuff we talked about in the first half, with minimizing the turnovers. Yeah. And it's this new word. Just for lacrosse, and you see some of the players wetting down their sticks and trying to get those dialed in. But the turnover's definitely been a factor for both teams so far today.
Yeah, I think you've got to look to be very efficient if you're Simon Fraser in your offensive possessions, looking to get great shots every time you go down. That's got to be your goal. And every time you get the ball across the midline into your offensive end, the possessions with no shots, with turnovers, really are going to be more difficult to come back from as the game progresses here and you're down by a few. You got to have good possessions with good shots, not only to give your defense a rest, but ultimately to give yourself an opportunity to score on the offensive end of the field.
Yeah, and just going into the half, we saw C.J. Watkins, the freshman goalie, taking some shots. So it'll be interesting to see as the half progresses if Colorado State maintains the sort of success they were having in that second quarter, if we might get a look at the freshman between the pipes. And there's another face-off win for Chamberlain. And Chamberlain, a guy who has technically second on the depth chart, has split almost exactly down the middle with Brian Roach, the senior, but looking like he wants that number one spot.
Yeah, he's had a nice game so far, really kind of doing everything well, and that's what you want to have from guys that aren't your starters, not only to show depth, but to push those starters along, continue to make sure that they're sharp as well.
It's another thing that we've seen out of these Alex Smith coach teams. It's always next man up. I mean, they lose their two top LSMs. You get a guy come in Essingen, score 2 goals. Chamberlain with an opportunity to move himself up to number 1 on the depth chart, goes out and has been absolutely dominating. I mean, he's got to be winning more than 3/4 of his faceoffs.
And here you see Colorado State initiating a little bit from behind the goal, which is what I think they need to do.
And there's a great finish, and that's Degnon, as he's able to bury that one on the dive. Got into the crease, but as he was not diving into the crease, instead just falling into the crease, that one's going to stand and push the lead to 6.
As Simon Fraser is electing to not play you behind the goal, Colorado State can really have their way with what they do and kind of continue to go back to hitting that roll-off man behind the goal. They get a little bit of an adjacent show from the lower short stick out of Simon Fraser, a nice little dump-off pass and a good high percentage shot there, and really kind of picking apart the Simon Fraser zone.
And that's another thing that we're seeing from Colorado State going into sort of a man-up look on some of their offensive plays, is trying to combat the zone.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how long Simon Fraser sticks with the zone. Now you're down 6. You can't really push the issue if you're Simon Fraser sitting back in the zone. So look to see them step out of their zone at some point if the score remains the same later in this quarter, and look to force Colorado State to go to the goal a little sooner in these possessions.
I know definitely a riskier move, opens you up to, giving up more goals and obviously expending more energy. And for a team that only has 2 more guys on the sideline with long sticks, it's tough. And you can hear the calls coming from the sidelines. There's the shot, another finish, and just not enough pressure outside as Womack takes his time, sets his feet, and fires that one home.
So classic case there of Colorado State dragging kind of up the field and popping a guy behind the dodge. So you drag the Simon Fraser defenseman out of his zone, pop a guy behind the dodge, you throw one pass, the short stick down low, that we talked about earlier didn't rotate up, leaving the guy on the wing time and room from about 10 yards. It's a high percentage shot. A nice job picking apart the zone there for Colorado State. And what we talked about earlier a little bit, they found some success now against it. Simon Fraser is down 7 now. They look to probably say, you know what, we've had enough of the zone. They're picking us apart, and we got to push the issue a little bit. So I expect them to get out of the zone here sooner rather than later.
And there's another solid clamp, but what a ground ball. Going the other direction, A.J. Vito has been a ground ball machine for the Clan. One of the guys that's actually been able to keep this sort of close, and there's Claire with a heads-up play just shielding that ball out. But then we see Vito come out holding his arm. Looks like he may have picked up a shoulder injury as he goes down right in front of the booth. And the trainer goes out to grab his arm, and that's something that they really can't afford to lose. And they'd be down to only 4 long poles that are available. As you see Alex Thompson come over, grab the long stick. Might have to force one of these other players into some active duty. Vickers.
Very important here for Simon Fraser to get a good look here in this possession. Not mandatory that you get a goal, but it's important that you get a good look just
for the confidence
sake.
Yeah,
exactly, for the confidence and just to show you're still in this game.
In lacrosse, of course, a game of runs. We saw last night, one player for Colorado, John Clayton, go on a 5-goal run himself. So, I mean, there's definitely guys that have the individual talent to be able to do that sort of thing. With Vickers, there's a great trail check as Vickers hanging his stick. And that's something you don't like to see if you're your head coach Hoskins, just not sticking with the fundamentals.
Yeah, right there when you roll away, you got to work on keeping your stick up and down, keeping it vertical to prevent really the opportunity for that kind of trail check there. But he leaves his stick unprotected. Nice job by Colorado State taking advantage of that.
And there's Joy again trying to make it 3 on the day in transition. And he's got a lot of momentum heading downhill for a guy with got some pretty good size at 5'10", 195. He's a real bulldozer. Colorado State getting their first line back in. Going to be a procedure call going. Look like a delayed sub causing the change of possession, and right back down the other way. Stroop looking for some space, trying to create some excitement for this Simon Fraser squad.
Yeah, I think you gotta, if you're Simon Fraser, look to take advantage and get some easy goals, whether it's off the ride or in transition. Try and beat Colorado State before they got all 6 defenders in behind the ball. Those are quick goals. They're momentum-building goals, and they're really easy goals that you need to have to mount a comeback.
Lasher with it, has the shorty, looking to take him behind the cage. I think this is a good matchup for Simon Fraser. Opting not to go for the switch.
This is a good time to dodge right here.
Foster looking for some space. Get a little bit better dig there on his cleats. He might have been able to turn the corner. Looked like he lost his footing a little bit. And there's another fantastic check, and that's Geiser, the sophomore, and he's had back-to-back takeaway checks on possessions.
Yeah, Ian Vickers there, probably in the last possession and this one, looking to do a little too much, which is really what you want to avoid doing when you're behind. You got to kind of stick to your game plan and your team offense. Here's an opportunity.
There's Hogarth takes it. Salami sees that one the whole way. Probably had a few more steps he could have taken inside.
A nice job recognizing there the opportunity to take advantage of Colorado State before they were set up, but leaves a little bit to be desired in terms of his shot. Not a bad opportunity, but really probably needs to set his feet there real quick and get a hard bounce shot off is what I would have liked to see as a coach.
And that's the freshman Hogarth. He was looking for his very first goal of his college career. Probably eyes got a little too big on that one, thinking he could score from outside on one of the top goalies in the MCLA. Womack again. And there's the shot, and that one possession shot for Colorado State, but probably not as good a look as Coach Smith would have liked.
Yeah, at this point, Colorado State can be really, really selective about the shots they're going to take. Initiating from behind the goal which is what I think they need to continue to do, as that's where Simon Fraser's zone defense is weakest, with the short sticks down low.
And it's nice to see AJ Vito back out there doing what he does, as he's able to get back out on the field. Let's see what the call is going to be, and it's going to be a going the Clans way here, as Colorado State thought that they had a clear path to that one. And definitely keep your tweets coming. We love to hear from you guys, where you're watching from, what you think of the game so far. What your predictions are for the rest of the game and for the rest of the day. A lot of top-level lacrosse being played in the desert this weekend.
Oh, unforced turnover.
And then almost comes up with it right in front of the goal as Foster, but now going back the other direction. And we've seen both these teams bounce quite a few passes.
Yeah, right there. I think that's just a sign of fatigue for Simon Fraser. If you carry the ball another 3 steps, you make that a 15-yard, very manageable pass. But you're a little tired and you decide to throw it, and it's a 25-yard pass, and they're unable to complete it, and it's an unforced turnover, and Colorado State's back on offense.
Monheiser trying to get away, and another takeaway check from Busquet, as he's looked solid. I mean, individually, the talent we've seen from the defensemen on both these teams has been very high. It's just breakdowns and turnovers in the team defense that's causing all these goals to be scored. It's Claire with it. Back up to Hogarth. And the lane thinks about the shot. Can't get the angle he's looking for. Hogarth gets ground ball. Back to Lasher. Lasher working on the pole. And you have to expect to see, as we are now closing in on the 7-minute mark in this third quarter, Alex Smith maybe dig a little deeper into the bench, get some of these guys some game action against a team that's pretty talented.
Yeah, a real advantage there to put fresh legs on the field this late in the game that are going to be going against Simon Fraser guys who've been running the entire time. I think it's a really good opportunity for Colorado State to widen the gap here late in the third quarter.
Nice little pickup there by Stroop, as he's able to roll away from the pressure. And fortunate that one didn't start going the other direction. Would have opened up for another break for the Rams.
Unforced turnover.
Smith loses it. Ground ball going the other direction. It's Peter Hull. And you can hear the sideline calling for them to push it. They've got numbers. Turns the corner, takes the shot. The bouncer just over the top of the cage, but a pretty solid look in the unsettled situation coming from Sean Sullivan.
Nice job executing a slow break for Colorado State. That time they get the ball down to the wing and then kind of reverse it back up top. He does a nice job getting down the alley for a pretty good shot in that slow break setting.
See Monheiser coming in from the box, trying to get the matchup maybe he wants, coming in working through the midfield. Been quiet the last 2 quarters after scoring early. That they like Taggart in that spot where they've had the most success scoring goals.
There they go. They'll pop a guy behind the carry. Nice job dodging there. Oh,
and off the pipe, but a great shot, changing the plane on the bounce, and then a quick stick pass as that one comes across, and it's right back into their offense. Like you mentioned, it's pretty much that same play that they've been running, and Simon Fraser hasn't been able to finish or figure out a way to stop it.
A little bit of a weave here from Colorado State.
Zines thinks about it from way outside.
Safe.
And that's Lasher eats that one up.
A nice job there by Lasher being set. Probably not the best shot Colorado State could have had. Lasher was able to stare down the shooter, see the ball in his stick, and make a nice save. You'd like to see Colorado State work the ball a little bit more and really get a shot off of the catch. Would be much more difficult for Lasher to handle in terms of a save.
And Lundy does well to handle that one, backpedaling a little higher than I think he was looking for. Lasher now with it up top. Has the shorty. Hear the righty call coming in. Another great save by Salami as he saw that one the whole way. He's really seeing the ball well today.
Yeah, he does a nice job there. A little bit of a three-quarter bouncer out of Simon Fraser, and just a nice, solid save. Doesn't give up a rebound, and does a nice job to kind of settle down and take the ball behind the goal for a settle clear for Colorado State.
That's a real heads-up play. As you see Brian Allen losing his footing, but not his composure, as he's able to roll that one out and maintain possession.
Simon Fraser sticking to the zone here. Interesting to me, as they're down a few. Colorado State's found a little bit of success against it. Simon Fraser, if they want to get back in this game, they're going to have to start pressing a little bit out on the perimeter, force Colorado State to take shots earlier in the possession.
There's Womack outside on the worm burner off the frame, but possession shot.
Here's a shot.
And again, getting the sticks in the passing lane has been saving the Clan on a couple occasions here.
Yeah, Colorado State, more than anything, they're looking to take advantage of Simon Fraser not being in position as the ball was behind.
And there's 3 red shirts there, and finally able to come up with the ground ball is Bisquet.
Oh.
He sends that one all the way down the field, and no problem for Colorado State. As we see the flag down here. And that one's going to be going against Colorado State, as we've seen them rack up a few penalties during the game.
Yeah, you never want to see penalties ever as a coach, but especially when you're up. You're giving the other team an opportunity with a man advantage to quickly get back in the game. So as always, you never want to be getting penalties, but definitely not ones that are unsportsmanlike or unnecessary roughness, really ones that are not, you don't need to have. They're not loose ball pushes, they're not holds. They're just not needed when you have a big lead.
Yeah, and it gives a team like Simon Fraser an opportunity to get back in this game, since he's going to have to serve the entire minute on the penalty. And that's Grant Alford, the freshman, learning a lesson the hard way. And there's Claire from outside. That one off the mark, but going to stay with the Clan.
Simon Fraser working out of a 2-3-1 set here. You'd expect them to get the ball to X and look to push a corner, look for skips up top. There's the ball at X, pushing the corner. There's a shot.
And Claire takes it again from just about the same spot, and here the coach is trying to get a little bit of clarification on what exactly the call was. Seemed like it was a late hit. There's a shot. That one off the mark again. Unable to generate any real good looks.
Yeah, really not letting the ball work as much. We haven't seen the ball rotate around to this side of the field yet. What you'd like to do is get the ball hot, get the Colorado State defense rotating. They kind of have yet to do that. So look to bang the ball quickly around the perimeter and look for a skip pass. But they're kind of just settling for outside shots right now, not putting any on cage.
When the way Salami's playing, I mean, that's just not going to cut it. I mean, you have to think that these guys are just gassed. I mean, we've only seen about 7 or 8 offensive players out for Simon Fraser, so these guys have been playing literally the whole day out in this 80-degree heat. Ball down, that one inside, and just off the mark, but a real great hustle play by Foster, able to get that ball out of the scrum and get the shot off. And that's something we've seen them have success in the unsettled situations, inside tight.
Yeah, if you're Simon Fraser, you can't really be picky about how you're going to score. You just need to score at this point in the game. So whether it's transition, man up, some scrappy goals, that's what you need to get back into a game when you're down at this point.
See Stroop turning the corner, and Salami again. So he gets low and gets in front of that one, and that's a good shot. He finds his spot down the alley and gets the bounce shot off.
Yeah, nice play there by Stroop. Unfortunately,
and looking to get a goal in transition again is Sullivan.
Yeah, Stroop there with a nice take. But everything with his body and stick signaled he was going low, and Salami was able to drop then and follow the ball. He probably needs to keep his head up a little bit more and keep Salami a little more honest as far as his positioning, give himself a better chance to put that one away.
It's Grant Woods into the game for the Rams, as well as Bradley Hall. A couple of numbers that we haven't called very much yet today. So again, Smith bringing in some of his depth.
Nice, good pressure there.
3 guys, one right past that one. Kind of forcing that one, but Lundy looked like he had a line on it, couldn't come up with the ball, and it's going right back the other direction for Colorado State.
So nice job there by Simon Fraser, putting a little bit of pressure on within their zone, but then they just turn the ball around in the clear, turn the ball over in the clear. It's probably just heartbreaking for a coach.
And I think that speaks to the level of fatigue that these guys have. You know, those are plays that we saw them making earlier in the game. Chris Holm, we've seen him take the ball across, but opting just to fire it down the field.
Good cut.
Can't get a stick on the end of that one as Degum, and now he's one Simon Fraser player able to get that ball and send it the other direction. It was Stroop. As we see Foster now trying to get the clear, showing off his speed. Down to the last 10 seconds in the third quarter, going to have to get a shot off pretty quickly. And probably a matter of Vickers not knowing exactly how much time there was left on the clock.
Yeah, always important to know the time, the score, and the situation of the game. Unfortunately there, you don't get a good opportunity out of Simon Fraser late in the third quarter. A little bit of an opportunity there to get a goal, carry some momentum into the end of the third quarter here, but probably, again, a byproduct of that fatigue, both physically and mentally, of Simon Fraser. You look over at the huddle, and some tired guys over there in red.
Yeah, and it's definitely going to be a tall order to come back against a team like Colorado State in the fourth quarter when you're already looking at a pretty solid deficit at 13-6.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see how much longer they stick with the zone, and it's tough. You know, playing a zone is easy to play when you're in the lead, but when you're behind, it's very difficult because you're not really forcing the issue for the offense in Colorado State. So Colorado State can afford to be very patient and really shorten this game if Simon Fraser sticks with that zone.
We're going to send it back down to Margot McCauley on the sideline.
All right, guys, in the huddle right there, Coach Smith was telling his team, guys, the turnovers are still causing us problems. We have got to clean that up. And he said we're not taking our foot off the pedal here. He wants 5 more goals. He wants to finish this game with 18 goals and with the win. Back to you guys.
And there you go. You hear it from the sideline. Alex Smith not taking any plays off at the end of this game.
Yeah, it's important. I think you always want to, when you're ahead, play with that mentality of we want to win the game, just not lose it. So good to hear that out of Coach Alex Smith and looking to keep their foot on the gas and continue to play to win the game. That'll serve you well both today and down the road later in the season.
And if they were able to get 5 more goals, that would put them one shy of their season high 19-1 victory against Northern Colorado on Valentine's Day. So no love for Northern Colorado. But again, out we're going to see Chamberlain out taking a face-off. The only time we've seen anyone but Chamberlain was during the man-down face-offs in the second quarter. And we got a final score from the other field between Colorado and UCSB. It's a 10-3 victory for Colorado as they stay undefeated and push the Gauchos of UC Santa Barbara all the way to 1-6. Definitely not the start you're looking for if you're Coach Allen over there. That's a tough hole to dig out of. Nice save by Lasher. And Womack coming from X. And now Creech. Freshman Michael Seaman getting some time on offense, as he was the only other player to take a face-off for Colorado State so far today.
Good look.
And there's a great look inside, quick stick goal, and that's a fantastic finish from Alex Creech.
Yeah, I mentioned it a few times this game. Simon Fraser electing not to play the man behind the goal, so really Colorado State can have their way and just stand back there and survey the field. That time they send 2 cutters inside and are able to find the open one for an easy finish.
And then you see them send 2-3 guys into the crease. You just can't mark all those guys.
Yeah, it's a numbers game. I mean, you send more guys and they have defenders and somebody's bound to be open.
I mean, what can Simon Fraser do to try and get back in this game?
I think they've got to really start forcing the issue. It's a nice face-off win there, but they got to look to take advantage of opportunities in transition. Look to really push, as I said, force the issue, push the tempo a little bit. They got to get up and down, and ultimately I think they got to get out of their zone. As much as tired as they may be, it's difficult to be behind and sit back in a zone. You're just not going to see the ball as much as you need to in order to mount a comeback.
And Chisholm making a move, 6'2", 240.
Keep going.
Getting it moving in the right direction. I mean, get Chisholm inside, let him score a goal. I mean, that's the kind of momentum boost that Simon Fraser needs on the sideline right now. There's look like a lot of tired players. Foster now over to Lasher. And make sure to send us your final thoughts, any more questions, comments you guys got at C Marshall TLN and at Jeremy Sieverts. Love to hear from you guys. Claire coming in, loses his man, and
oh boy!
And that one looks like it's going to make its way out of bounds, but Claire pretty disappointed in himself with that one as he just threw that ball away.
Yeah, just trying to do a little too much. Sometimes when you're behind like this and you're trying to be a spark for your team, you try and do a little too much. Look to be what happened there. It's important to be disciplined and really stick to the game plan, playing team offense. It's the only way you're really going to generate any bit of a comeback for your team.
Got a little bit of a change coming in. We got Womack now running the offense from below as Monheiser's taking a seat on the sideline. Again, Alex Smith making sure that he can get that next man up as Taggart tries to get the quick stick goal. That's going to be a pass as it goes all the way to the other sideline, and it's going to be Simon Fraser ball. See Foster looking for it. Gets it from Stroop. One to beat.
Oh!
Now loses his head on that check as Dustin comes off the field. Dunstan. Now Lundy with it. We saw him have a little bit of success earlier, rolling the ball up to Claire. Maybe a more effective way to pass the ball with the trouble they've had getting the passes going. Another unforced error, and chalk that one up to fatigue and solid defensive play.
Yeah, probably looking there for something that's not there. If you don't have it inside, you just got to push the ball ahead, really live for another day in your offensive possession. But that's twice now where we've had one dodge, one pass, and a turnover. You got to kind of grind the possessions a little bit more and look for a quality shot, not just your first look in your offensive possession.
And that one on the outside of the cage as we get our first shot from Brian McGee, the freshman.
Quite a freshman shot there.
Yeah, right onto the outside of the cage. Looking to get his name in the scorebook. Would be his third goal on the season. Fenny back to get it across. And again, it seems like every time the Clan get a ball across, and there's a great, like a kayak check. That one stays in. Let's see what the call is here. And looks like Simon Fraser able to get the timeout call there. That's a real heads-up play by Coach Hoskins. Able to save his boys and maybe try and get an offensive possession going here, give them a little bit of a rest, and see if they can put one in the back of the net. I mean, what are you saying to your players if you're Coach Hoskins here?
I think you're asking them to settle down a little bit and again, not take the first look or first shot that becomes available to you, and understand that having a little bit of patience will give you a better opportunity to score a goal. I think, as mentioned, the past two possessions have been quick turnovers and really not forcing Colorado State to defend all six players on the field. So look to get a little bit deeper into the possession, but at the same time, you got to look to go quickly here and be efficient in your possession offensively for Simon Fraser.
And definitely efficient is not the best way to describe the way they've been playing offensively in this second half. And I mean, this is something we talked about earlier. We're going to continue to talk about it as the fatigue factor of having such a small team and playing in such warm weather early in the season. And unlucky break, having a couple players go down with injury as well today. So it's going to turn into maybe kind of a long road trip for these guys.
Yeah, and I think if you're Colorado State, you look here to finish the game strong and really work on, end of game management. So what I mean by that is smart possessions offensively. Simon Fraser is going to have to look to extend on the defensive end of the field and really will give opportunities to Colorado State. They won't have to create them for themselves. So, and then just playing fundamentally sound defense, not giving up penalties or easy goals, and really making Simon Fraser earn everything that they're going to get here as the game continues towards the end.
And one thing you like to see is you got a team that's up quite a few goals here, 8 goals, and there's no drop-off in any of the effort that we're seeing from them. They're running to every ground ball. They're sending 3 guys coming through, and they're going full speed all day. And there's Womack, gets it inside and scores the quick goal as he changes the plane and goes low and bounces it past Lasher, who had no chance at that one.
Yeah, nice little move in transition, a little split dodge to the middle with his head up, and finds one of his attackmen on the backside for an easy finish.
And that pushes their lead to 9 at 15-6 with 10:30 to go in the game. And this one's looking like it's getting out of hand for Simon Fraser. Yeah,
really the storyline that you expected has played out here in this game, and Colorado State really widening the gap here in the second half as Simon Fraser's players are making some mental mistakes because of they're tired physically. So you'd expect Colorado State to really try and shorten the game here with long possessions. Simon Fraser, would be interesting to see if they stay in their zone, which it looks like they're going back to, with their shorties low down by the pipes. But expect Colorado State to be very methodic in their offensive attack here for the rest of the game.
And we saw another face-off win for Chamberlain, who's been absolutely dominant today. Womack done a good job of working the offense from X here in the fourth quarter. Now Hall gets it to Woods. That one goes out of bounds, and you see Womack pull up a little bit on that one. Looks like he's going to be okay, but I mean, you'd hate to lose one of your top players at this point in the game, up 9 goals with under 10 minutes to play. It's another great hustle play by Taggart. Looking inside, there's Womack. And what a save by Lasher, one-on-one. Absolutely stoned Womack.
Yeah, Womack there probably taking a little too much time. He had all day, but just because you have all day doesn't mean you want to take it. He probably needed to show a little bit more urgency there and put the ball away.
You see Womack seeing himself off the field there. Looks like maybe he's taking a little bit of a knock.
Yeah, he might be done for the day.
Vickers to Lasher, back up top to Foster. Foster coming inside on the dodge, takes the shot and scores the goal, finally getting the Clan on the board in the fourth quarter. And
first goal of the second half.
Yeah, able to get a big opportunity there, dodging himself.
Yeah, Colorado State really answering the bell from Coach Alex Smith at halftime. Showed a little bit of frustration in giving up 6 goals in the first half. Not giving up one until right there to Simon Fraser. So really buckling down defensively and really responding to the challenge of the coach to tighten it up on the defensive half of the field for Colorado State.
Again, Chamberlain's still out there taking face-offs. Interesting to see if we'll see him go the distance here. I know with the injury to Roach, who's not playing to get the senior. I mean, if you're Alex Smith, you have to maybe start thinking about pulling some of these guys out, as we saw Womack come off the field with a lower body injury. Chamberlain again with another ground ball. Gerwick with it. And finds Salami. Salami's got a lot of time and space here. Again, a little bit of a zone ride here too.
Yeah, Simon Fraser dropped back deep here, probably going to kind of junk it up a little bit and look to maybe get a 30-second
So you got to get it in the next 10 seconds.
Oh, they love to call it quick.
It's right there, right before he gets in, as the refs send it back the other direction. Almost gets there.
You know, I think the referees they're meant there to give the benefit of the doubt as you're approaching the box to give you that. But I've noticed here out west the referees love to make that call. If you're not in already, they make the call.
And way to duck under that one. Looked like maybe he stepped on the
Nice
line,
look.
but what a play to get that one down the field to Lundy. Lundy had one-on-one trying to force that one inside. Maybe got away with a push there, but they're letting him play at the end of that one. But that's a great individual effort coming up with that ground ball from Vickers.
Yeah, Simon Fraser, credit to them, man. They are still working here for every ground ball. You see them bent over. They're Vickers after working hard right in front of the box for the ground ball.
I mean, definitely no give up on the Simon Fraser side of the ball.
No, not at all. You like to see that from a team that's really just by numbers been overmatched, and they've really stuck to their game plan in terms of their zone. They're just sticking to it here in the fourth quarter.
I mean, there aren't a whole lot of other options. You only have two other poles suited up, and they've been running LSM, and that's kind of the way life works here in the MCLA sometimes. Colorado's still looking for that perfect look. Zines sends it down to Alfred, the freshman, who stepped on for Womack 3 or 4 minutes ago. And that one knocked down. We see that zone coming up. There's Biscuits comes up with it. Great flow from Biscuits as he throws that one away.
They might call that overflow.
Overflow. Oh, well done. Well done.
Might be.
We'll be here all night. And Biscuits unable to find his man, looking for Lasher on the far side. But another unforced error for Simon Fraser. Now from outside, big save by Lasher. Gets back to his feet. And that one inside,
Nice
another
save.
great save as he sets his feet very quickly and is able to get in front of that shot from Alfred. Lasher picking up the pace here a little bit in this fourth quarter. Struggled a little bit early in the second half, but got to have a short memory if you're between the pipes.
Yeah, no doubt. A nice job there, refocusing after making one save on the outside shot, squaring up, seeing the shooter and making a nice save.
Nice look inside on the skip pass. On that one coming up to Hall, but can't handle it. Looks like he was thinking about the shot before it got in his stick. O'Connell comes up with the ground ball. Alfred down to Zines. Sending the ball around the horn. Up top from Hall. No problem for Lasher, who's playing very well right now. Lasher all the way down the field, right on the money. So he might have lost that one in the sun, but picked up. By Claire. Vickers back in the game after taking a quick break. And Claire, the outside shot. No problem for Salami once again. Richards taking it across. And there's another shot, long pole shot from outside. That one off one of the defensemen. Now Foster with it as they're trying to push the issue. Able to feel the pressure and roll away from it.
Nice job, Colorado State transition defense there, hustling back in the hole to get all 6 guys in, forcing Simon Fraser to slow it down and get a 6-on-6 possession. That right there is a sign of a good team and their transition defense, just putting an emphasis on finishing out the game despite the large lead that they have right now.
And under 5 minutes to play in this one. Still holding on to the 8-goal lead at 15-7 is Colorado State. All with it. Down to Taggart. He's played the whole game for Colorado State. Alfred looking to get the rest of the unit on the field. So we now get a change in the goal for Colorado State. Definitely trying to get some extra experience for Jake Bender, the freshman. He might get his first action of the game here on this possession. Lasher up top. Down to the last 3 minutes of the game. And again, long passes for Simon Fraser as Lasher way up top. Colorado State still pressuring out. Lundy. And Lundy steps out of bounds, another unforced error. And that one stings.
Yeah, just a kind of another sign of the fatigue of Simon Fraser. Just a mental mistake there, stepping out of bounds.
And as we close in on the finish of this fourth quarter, make sure to send us your last couple of tweets, comments, questions, anything you got. Love to hear from you. And definitely stay tuned. We've got a big game coming your way tonight between Michigan State and Brigham Young University. So looking forward to watching both of those teams play. Yeah,
that should be a good matchup. Got to see both of those teams play yesterday. Brigham Young with a very complete game against Grand Canyon. Michigan State had a tough one against Chapman, so it'll be interesting to see how they respond just a day later after a tough loss.
Yeah, and then BYU has really picked up the pace after losing an early kind of shocker to San Diego State. I mean, they really dropped the hammer on Minnesota, and a huge win against Grand Canyon. Grand Canyon, one of the most talented teams in the country this season. A lot of Canadian players got a transfer from DU. Making a pretty good impact so far this season already. So, definitely a matchup we might see later on in the season in the national tournament. Nice move by Foster, but unable to find a lane to get towards the cage. As we are now down to our final 90 seconds. Stroop now has a lane. Nice goal for Stroop. And again, that's the same angle we've seen them take to score the last couple of goals. Get down that alley. Nice little face stop finish. No question about it.
Yeah, Simon Fraser scored a couple goals in that same manner right there. Just a strong right-handed alley dodge. Stroop does a nice job sensing that trail check and tucks it. The check comes, then he's able to bring his stick back out and just bury it to the far corner.
And not quite the 18 goals that I think Coach Alex Smith was looking for, but holding Simon Fraser to just 2 goals in the second half is definitely part of the plan.
Yeah, I think you go into halftime and you encourage your team to get to that 18 mark, but your more emphasis is placed on not giving up another goal, which they've done here until the fourth quarter. Simon Fraser getting a couple on the board late, but really impressed with Colorado State and their ability to buckle it down on the defensive half of the field. They didn't need to score another goal after the half to win this game.
That's a great
they've done a nice job to finish it off here defensively.
In the final 90 seconds of the game, as Colorado State gets into transition, looking to run that fast break, and they do it to perfection once again as Degnan buries the goal, his second of the season. And that's just fundamental lacrosse.
Yeah, a nice little 3-on-2 break there, playing a little tic-tac-toe, making the one more pass till you end up with a one-on-one with the goalie, and a pretty routine there finish there.
And 17-8 as we close in the final 48 seconds of this game at the Reach 11 Sports Complex in Phoenix, Arizona. We got some couple of tweets coming in. Want to know why the CSU coaches are wearing pants out in the 80-degree desert heat.
It's a good question. It's warm.
But we'll be sure to ask that one after the game. Thanks for the tweet, Alex.
Better than them wearing no pants.
well said. Well said. And looks like Colorado State might just hold on to this one and let the time run out. Simon Fraser opting to, how they've done the whole game so far, stay in that zone, not pressure. I mean, there's no rock and jock 10-pointer out there today.
Yeah, Simon Fraser, if they're going to stick to their zone over the course of their season, they've got to look to get out to an early lead, and then you can sit back in that zone and put a little pressure on the opposing offense.
And that's going to do it here today for these two squads. Colorado State coming away with the 17-8 victory, and I think if you're Coach Alex Smith, you have to be really happy with the way your team responded, especially in the second half.
Yeah, I think that they did everything that he asked them to do at halftime, and as we mentioned previously, doing a nice job on the defensive half of the field and shoring up that defense. Some nice goalie play from Salami, and then when he got his break from Jake Bender. So a nice all-around effort from Colorado State today.
Yeah, I mean, I think the real test for Colorado State is going to come tomorrow. They got a tough turnaround playing the early game at 1 p.m. against Arizona State, and I think that's going to be probably it's going to be tough for that game to live up to the Colorado game from last night, where Colorado came away with the one goal victory. But that's definitely going to be a game to circle on your calendar.
Yeah, that should be a great game to kind of cap off the weekend here in Phoenix, and a great effort by Simon Fraser here in this game today. Really proud of their players and the effort that they gave from the first minute to the very last whistle.
And one of the things that we've seen is the Colorado State team went undefeated 2013 en route to a national championship. Is there's no easy games really to speak of in their schedule. They've got a lot of very talented teams that they're going to be facing. Simon Fraser, highly rated team, ranked 13, might drop a little bit in the next poll. They got Arizona State, Sonoma State, Grand Canyon, Chapman, Michigan State, BYU, Westminster, and then finishing the regular season with the all-time rivalry matchup with Colorado. So these teams, especially in the RMLC and the SLC, have to go out there and play 5 or 6 top 15 teams, and it's really tough to go undefeated, but they're going to get solid tests. I mean, there's no weak links in the schedules for the top teams. It's something you definitely like to see. We're going to send it out to Margot here in a second, who's going to be talking with Coach Alex Smith. And like we said, I mean, has to be pretty happy with the effort. I mean, if you're Simon Fraser, I mean, what can you do differently?
Yeah, I think they showed a great effort. I think, as I mentioned previously, you got to be out in a lead if you're going to sit back in your zone the whole game. Some nice play from their mainstays. Ian Vickers had a nice game. Lundy did a nice job out there, and solid effort from AJ Vito at long stick midi. So the effort from those guys is there. Again, they're a little thin personnel-wise, so that nothing but positive things from Simon Fraser so far.
All right, and we're going to send it out to Margot McCauley, who's with head coach Alex Smith and the player of the game, Ryan Chamberlain.
All right, Coach, you get the win today. I know I heard you say you wanted 18 goals. You finished with 16. What do you think about your overall offensive performance?
I thought it was good. We shot the ball pretty well for most of the game. Their goalie heated up there in the last half of the fourth quarter. We're pretty happy. It's hard to be unhappy with 16. So we're pretty good.
And I know first half you gave up 6, only gave up 2. How do you feel defensively about that performance?
I think we finally buckled down and started doing the things we talked about all week instead of playing outside of our game plan. I thought we were chasing them a lot, which is the one thing you can't really do against them in the first half, and we corrected that in the second half. And credit to them because they. I know they're battling some injuries and they don't play a lot of guys, and our depth was able to really kind of overtake the game. That was a big difference for us.
All right, thanks, Coach. I'm going to go to our player of the game right here, Ryan Chamberlain. He's just a freshman, guys, but he dominated the face-offs today and he had 10 ground balls. How are you feeling right now?
I feel pretty good, really. I mean, it was a fun game. We played really hard. There's a lot of hard work going into it, and just coming out with a win is what really matters.
So tomorrow you face ASU, huge matchup, the first time you're playing them, number 2 versus number 3. What are you most looking forward to in that game?
Me personally, I'm really looking forward to facing off against Zach Handy. I mean, he's really good at the X, so it'll definitely be a really good challenge. And overall, as a team, I'm really looking forward to show the country what we can do against a team ranked higher than us.
Nice. Any coaches, players, family you want to give a shout-out to?
Just a shout-out to my family, my coaches, my team, friends back home. I mean, it's as simple as that.
All right. Thanks, guys. Back to you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Margot. It's always nice to hear players complimenting other players that they're looking forward to playing against. And Zach Handy, a senior, been doing it his whole career for Arizona State, one of the top guys in the entire MCLA. So that's definitely a matchup I'm looking forward to seeing.
Yeah. What more could you ask for? Colorado State getting an opportunity to play Arizona State here in Phoenix. That's sure to be a great matchup tomorrow.
Yeah, thanks to everyone for tuning into this top 15 matchup between Colorado State and Simon Fraser. Stay tuned. We got another game coming your way, Michigan State versus BYU. Going to be a real barn burner, so don't go anywhere. Thanks so much to Jeremy Sieverts as well as Matt Holman for putting together the LAX Coaches versus Cancer. And all of you at home, really enjoyed reading your tweets. You're the reason why we do this and why we can do this. So definitely make sure to keep tuning into the SLC YouTube channel. And as always, I'm Chris Marshall. Stay laxy.